Are you curious about plant-based eating or have just begun your diet transition but already feel overwhelmed with all the changes needed? Not only do you have to swap meats out from your plate, there's the dairy, eggs, and other animal-based food products too. There are also new terms to learn about and different plant-based ingredients and new ways of cooking. Feel like giving up already? Well, don't. In today's episode, I'll give you a key strategy to help you in your plant based diet transition so you'll be able to move into a health transforming, plant powered lifestyle with less overwhelm and more confidence. Ready to learn more? Let's go! Welcome to the Plant Based Eating Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Anna Zinn, plant based registered dietitian and transition coach. Hi, friend. Do you want to regain your health with plant-based eating but feel overwhelmed and lost about how to do it? Do you feel it'll be hard to change your meat-heavy diet and impossible with working, running the home, or chasing after the grandkids? If so, you're in the right place. Here you'll find simple strategies, clear nutrition guidance, and practical tips to help you thrive plant-powered with more energy. So if you're ready to ditch the guesswork and transform your health the stress-free way, cozy up now with a hot cup of tea or listen while you walk, and let me show you how doable plant-based eating can be. Let's do this. Sometimes, making a change can seem just too big and daunting. This can seem especially so when it comes to something as huge as a complete diet or lifestyle change. We only have to think back to the habits that took years to build and that we're still working on. Here's a small personal example of this. For me, one of those habits is getting up an hour or two earlier in the morning before the children are up, so I can have some me time and can concentrate to accomplish more work tasks before the day officially starts. I'm a morning person by default and find I can function my best in those quiet early morning hours. But going to bed consistently earlier the night before so I can really take advantage of those precious morning hours is still something I'm working on. Can you relate? I'm sure you can think of at least one habit you're still building as well in your own life. So then, what about making a diet shift as big as that of moving from meats to plants? Would it be pretty much impossible to achieve then? Not necessarily. That's because any task or change in life can seem big and overwhelming until you break it down into smaller parts to tackle, one section at a time. Let me explain what I mean. One of the things our family loves to do is puzzles, and we often borrow them from the library. Well, once we brought back a 500-piece puzzle with a complicated illustration of 15 butterflies and 12 different flower varieties. My 5-year-old son at first didn't want to start the puzzle, saying he couldn't do it because he saw that there seemed to be too many pieces, all jumbled up in a colorful mess. But then I helped him tackle this challenge a different way, in smaller steps, starting with completing the frame first. This way, we could see how big the finished puzzle would be, and it would then become easier to build the puzzle inwards from the completed frame. Next, we worked on the biggest butterfly in the picture, a black and yellow one in the lower corner, which took up about a fifth of the puzzle. And from there, it became easier and easier to work on the smaller butterflies and other parts of the puzzle. In the end, it took us about a week to put the entire puzzle together. If you'd like to see what this looks like, you can go to the show notes for this episode to be linked to a picture of the finished puzzle. So how is this related to plant-based eating? Well, you can definitely approach this lifestyle change in the same way. If switching over 100% to a full plant-based diet is really too big of a jump for you, let's start with a smaller intentional step in your transition. You don't need to change 15 things in your diet and lifestyle all at once, but gradually build up to your new lifestyle. You've heard of the concept of habit stacking, right? That's the same concept here. Take each positive step forward as a small habit that you get to practice daily. And then you can build up on that so that over time you've got a strong plant-powered lifestyle. This is partly why I break down the diet transition process into 4 core pillars in my PlantNourished Transition Success Method: mindset building, foundation setting, smart recipe integration, and lifestyle success strategies. This way, the entire process can seem less overwhelming and easier to understand for those wanting to begin plant-based eating. I make sure these areas are covered in my private coaching sessions with clients and with my Plant-Powered Life Transformation course students. This way, those in my community can easily focus on and build upon each of these 4 core areas in their transition journey to master the essentials of plant-based eating. I want you to know, though, that breaking down the steps needed to a full change in lifestyle can also apply to areas outside of plant-based eating, such as drinking more water daily or taking a walk outside the home each evening. If your goal is to improve your health and build a better quality life, these steps are also important. There's another benefit to using this strategy as you move towards plant-based eating. If you're someone who knows that making an overnight switch into a full plant-based diet won't work for you, then this strategy of taking smaller intentional steps can make you feel like you are making more progress in your journey, even if you haven't embraced a full whole food plant-based diet yet. I remember a client coming to me at the beginning of the year saying that she felt overwhelmed as she was trying to change her eating habits, along with other changes like drinking more water, counting steps, and exercising more with a daily walk. But she told me that once she learned about habit stacking, she felt less overwhelmed. And each day seemed more of a success at the end of the day, even if she didn't manage to implement all the lifestyle change tasks she had set for that day. I was glad to hear that. Friend, if that's how you're feeling at the moment, I want the same for you. So today we looked at a simple strategy you can use to take away some of that overwhelm you may be feeling, either in the midst of your transition or as you begin it. And that's to habit stack, taking small intentional steps forward towards a final transition goal or endpoint. So here's a small action step you can take towards that bigger end goal. If you're about to start plant-based eating, take a moment to consider and choose which area of your transition journey you want to focus on first, and how you might be able to break down that area of the transition process into smaller sections to tackle. Then take that first step forward this coming week. Friend, I hope this episode assures you and gives you confidence as you move forward to begin your plant-based diet journey. But if you're still feeling overwhelmed and know you need a clear step-by-step process to follow to help you move successfully from a meat-heavy diet to a plant-powered one, I invite you to check out the Plant-Powered Life Transformation course to see if it's right for you. This 6-module self-paced course breaks down the 4 essential areas of a successful diet transition into easily manageable bite-sized parts, with short video lessons, PDF guides, and simple plant-based recipes to try. And you'll have a clear roadmap that you can follow to master the basics of plant-based eating quickly and with confidence. Find out more about this course at plantnourished.com/PPLT course or see the link in the show notes. Thank you for listening to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. If this podcast has helped you, please take a moment to rate and leave a written review on the Apple Podcast app or on iTunes. Knowing how this podcast has made a difference in your life never fails to light me up. I may also select your review to be read on the show. Remember that moving to plant-based eating can be simple and doable, even with your existing health challenges and busy lifestyle. If you have a plant-based diet question you'll like me to answer on this show, share that question with me using the contact options in the show notes. Thanks for joining me today, and I can't wait to connect with you again in the next episode. Until next time, keep plant-focused and thriving, my friend.